Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Becky. Today we're going to be working on a challenge over at A Cherry on Top. This is a challenge for the April 2020 Mood Challenge. Now for that challenge you had to have like, I don't know, 50% white space, and you had to use bright colors. So I did pull in this bright pink, and I'm also going to be pulling in some bright yellow. At first I thought I'd be using this striped paper. That striped paper, I had it out on my desk for a previous layout, so I was just trying to use the pieces that I already had up. It was all this stuff came out of a deer, except for that yellow. I will pull some yellow in that's not, but all of the other papers come from Dear Lizzie. I pulled out that Dear Lizzie box and was just using some papers, random papers out of it. I did find this whole pack of wood veneer. Look at this whole pack of wood veneer. I don't know how long that has been sitting in my stash, but I found it. It had never been opened. I'm like, oh my word. Let's just go ahead and bust this open and see if we can get a couple pieces used. I do end up using 2 pieces out of it. I end up using that little rectangle down at the bottom. It says Little Joys. That's probably what I'm going to make my title. And then I also end up using this today. Now originally I was going to have that top piece flushed over on to the left hand side. I went ahead and moved it over to the right. I feel like I almost always do it on the left hand side because that's how I read, so I thought I'd mix it up just a little bit this time. Ooh, right, that's a big stretch for me. You can't see this because I'm a little bit off screen, but I am using my corner chomper to round the corners of all these bits I'm going to stick in around the photo as little layering pieces. Now I'm not going to lie, this is not my most favorite layout ever, but you know, it works. It's cute. I have this series of photos of Riley, and I have already scrapbooked 2 of them on one page, and this is the one that I had left over that I hadn't scrapbooked yet. So I mean, there's not really a story or anything like that for this photo. I just think it's a cute photo, so yeah, I do go ahead and scrapbook it. Now I have this little pack of Dear Lizzie pieces. They're like those wood buttons, and then there's also some of the little epoxy with the metal rims around them, and also some epoxy dots. I do pull out the wood button pieces. Now one of them, the navy blue wood button, you can see it sitting up at the top. You can't tell this right here, but you can see it in the close-up pictures at the end. It is cracked, but guys, I used it anyway. I figure if you are looking so close to the layout and you see that it's cracked and are like, I can't believe you used a cracked piece. Well, you're looking too closely. This doesn't have journaling on it. There's no reason to look so close. I am going to go ahead and commit to the placement of everything. You saw right there, I did ink the edges with my Ranger Distress Ink Oxide in Chipped Sapphire. I almost always have that and also the Vintage Photo just sitting on my desk, so I'll use that instead of getting up my Close to My Heart inks. I also like to use those as well, but for those ones I use the little finger daubers, and so I have to get up, get the finger dauber, get the ink, whereas these 2 colors I have the pads taped onto them, and so they're sitting right there. So yes, the reason I chose the blue because I had the blue out and I also had the Vintage Photo out, so I figured the blue would work better than the Vintage Photo, and I am lazy, so I didn't want to get up. It was that or not ink at all, so I could have not inked at all. That would have been fine too. You saw there I did put a little bit of some foam underneath the tails of that banner just to kind of give it a little bit of dimension. I'm going to go ahead and commit to the placement of these little layering pieces. I don't know, see, I don't know if I really love this whole middle part right here. I'm not sure. I haven't really, it's not my favorite. It's not my favorite. It might grow on me. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how that goes. I know that right now when I'm doing this voiceover, I am just scrapbooking like a fiend. This is my last week home, and then I'll be going back to work on Monday. So yes, I am trying to get some videos voice-overed and some scrapbook layouts done, just so my channel won't go back to crickets like it was in March. It still might, you never know, but I'm working on it, man. I am trying. I am just going to go ahead and put this wood piece down. I did toy around with coloring the wood pieces with the ink, and then I was like, well, no, because the wood buttons, so yeah, I just leave them natural. I know it's not a bright color, but that's okay. As you can see here, this little strip I used up at the top, it was not quite 12 inches. I get that a lot from some of the papers with the paper pads. Sometimes they won't be exactly 12 inches, so I will just trim my paper down, my entire layout down to be, you know, smaller. Whatever the smallest size is, that's what I end up using. I do use these hot pink photo corners up there. I did go and pick up a box of the photo corners from Heidi's Swap when I placed that order at Joann.com. So yes, I have been using those. Those have been quite a bit of fun. I have the layout in front of me, and I can see that one I put down over at the top left is it is a wee bit crooked. I don't think I'm going to be able to strip it up. Nope. Straighten it up, because it's really sticky. I mean, she did good with the sticky stuff. So I did put this acetate flower down at the bottom left. That is the Dear Lizzie. But I also used some flowers that I had fussy cut off of a Close to My Heart paper. Again, that was a piece of paper that was sitting on my desk. I had played around with a couple layouts back, so they were still sitting out on my desk. So I did go ahead and cut out a few more of those to put down around the page. I did want to take out my little spiral notebook, and these right here are epoxy dots that came from that same pack, that same Dear Lizzie pack. Right there, you can see it over on the left hand side. They do need extra adhesive underneath. They do not stick at all. But anyways, I did want to go through this spiral notebook. I am trying to pull it out every time I do a layout, because I want to get some of the things in there used up. It is getting pretty fat because I keep adding things to it. Every time I just have something left over on my desk, I will put it on there, and probably, I don't know if that's a good idea or not, and I just slap it in there. It is not organized at all. I just use my ATG gun, put a little bit on the back of whatever embellishment I have, and stick it in there. Well, as you can see right here, I did find something. I found a little bit of a little tag right here, so I cut it off, made it a little bit shorter so I could fit it underneath there, and I did put some of that yellow twine through there. This is a really thick yellow twine. Again, this has been showing up on a lot of my pages lately because it has been on my desk. So yeah, and that has since been removed from my desk. I have one little string of it sitting on my desk right now, so we might not be seeing that yellow string come out much here in the future. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe it will make a reappearance. You never know. All right, guys, after I do that, I'm not going to do anything else to this layout. Again, this was for a challenge over at A Cherry on Top. That's where I'm going to be hanging out on National Scrapbooking Weekend, so I'm so excited. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.